How to think like a winner, even when you're losing. Chapter 1. The mindset shift that changes everything. Introduction. The illusion of winning and losing life is not a straight path to success. It's a series of peaks and valleys. Some days, you feel unstoppable. Other days, it seems like the world is conspiring against you. But what separates true winners from the rest isn't just talent, luck, or circumstances. It's their mindset. Winners don't just succeed because things go right for them. They succeed because they think differently when things go wrong. They see setbacks as setups for comebacks. They treat failure as feedback, and most importantly, they refuse to let temporary losses define their future. In this chapter, we'll explore the psychological framework that allows winners to stay resilient, resourceful, and relentless, even when they're losing. By the end, you'll have a new mental toolkit to turn adversity into advantage. Section 1. The winner's brain versus the loser's trap. 1. The two mental frameworks. Psychologists have long studied how people respond to failure. Some crumble under pressure, others rise stronger. The difference lies in two core mindsets. The fixed mindset, the loser's trap, believes talent and intelligence are static, avoids challenges to protect self-esteem, sees effort as pointless if success isn't guaranteed, takes failure personally. The growth mindset, the winner's brain, believes skills can be developed through effort, embraces challenges as opportunities, persists despite setbacks, learns from criticism. Key insight: winners don't have a magical immunity to failure, they simply reframe it. 2. The power of cognitive reframing. When you're losing, your brain's default response is often panic, frustration, or resignation. Winners, however, train themselves to ask, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? Where's the hidden opportunity? Example: loser's response, I failed, I'm not good enough. Winner's response, this didn't work, what adjustments do I need? This shift doesn't happen overnight, it's a mental discipline. Section 2. The 5 mental strategies of unstoppable winners. 2. 1. Focus on the process, not just the outcome. Winners know that obsession with results leads to anxiety. Instead, they focus on controllable actions. Bad thinking, I have to win or I'm a failure. Winners thinking, I'll give my best effort and adapt as needed. Case study. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Instead of quitting, he doubled his training, focusing on daily improvement rather than immediate success. 2. Embrace the temporary setback mentality. Winners see losses as data points, not destiny. Bad thinking, I lost so I'll always lose. Winners thinking, this is just one chapter, not the whole story. Exercise: write down 3 past setbacks that ultimately led to growth. 3. Develop mental toughness through adversity. Navy SEALs are trained to handle extreme stress by controlling their response. You can do the same. When losing, ask, 1. What's the worst that can happen? Often, it's not that bad. 2. What's one small step forward? Use visualization to stay ahead. Elite athletes and CEOs visualize both success and recovery from failure. How to practice. Spend 5 minutes daily imagining yourself overcoming obstacles. Mentally rehearse bouncing back from a loss. 5. Surround yourself with a winning tribe. Your environment shapes your mindset. Loser's circle complains, blames, and reinforces negativity. Winner's circle challenges, supports, and focuses on solutions. Action step: audit your inner circle. Are they lifting you up or holding you back? Section 3. The neuroscience of resilience. 3. 1. How your brain reacts to failure. Neuroscience shows that failure triggers the amygdala, fear center, but winners activate the prefrontal cortex, problem-solving center. How to rewire your brain. Practice mindfulness to reduce emotional reactivity. Reframe failure as feedback. 3.2. The role of dopamine in persistence. Dopamine, the motivation chemical, is released not just when you win, but when you make progress. Trick: break big goals into small wins to stay motivated. 1. The 24-hour rule. After a loss, give yourself 24 hours to feel the emotion, then shift to solution mode. 4.2 The WIN Journal. What happened? Insights gained? Next steps? Adopt a no excuses policy. Winners take full responsibility even when it's not their fault. Conclusion: the winner's edge. Thinking like a winner isn't about never losing, it's about never staying defeated. The greatest champions in history, from Thomas Edison to Serena Williams, faced brutal losses. What made them different was their refusal to let those losses define them. How to think like a winner, even when you're losing. Chapter 2. The Art of Strategic Persistence. When to push harder and when to pivot. Introduction. The Winner's Dilemma. When to hold on and when to let go. Every great success story is punctuated by moments of crisis, times when the path forward was unclear, when doubt crept in, and when the easiest choice would have been to quit. But winners don't succeed because they never face setbacks. They succeed because they master the art of strategic persistence. Persistence is not about stubbornly banging your head against a wall. It's about knowing when to push through resistance and when to pivot to a better strategy. In this chapter, we'll explore how elite performers, from world-class athletes to billionaire entrepreneurs, make these critical decisions. You'll learn the psychological traps that keep people stuck in losing battles, how to distinguish between a temporary setback and a dead end, the 5-question framework to decide whether to persist or pivot, case studies of famous pivots that led to massive success, how to build mental flexibility without losing determination. By the end, you'll have a battle-tested system for making smarter decisions when the stakes are high. Section 1. The Psychology of Persistence. Why we get stuck. 1. The sunk cost fallacy. The one reason smart people make dumb decisions. The sunk cost fallacy is one of the most dangerous cognitive biases. It's the tendency to continue investing in a failing endeavor simply because we've already put time, money, or effort into it. Real-world example: the Concorde jet project. Governments kept funding it for decades despite mounting losses, simply because they had already invested so much. How winners overcome this. They practice zero-based thinking, where regularly asking, knowing what I know now, would I start this today? They separate emotional investment from rational decision-making. 1. 2. The false consensus effect. Why your support system might be lying to you. When we're deeply invested in something, we unconsciously seek out opinions that confirm our existing beliefs. This creates an echo chamber that distorts reality. Case study: MoviePass kept raising money and doubling down despite clear financial unsustainability, because leadership only listened to confirming opinions. The winner's approach: actively seek disconfirming evidence. Build a red team to challenge your assumptions. Section 2. The Persistence Spectrum. From delusional to strategic. 2. 1. The 5 levels of persistence. Not all persistence is created equal. Here's how to identify where you fall. Level, type, description. 1. Delusional persistence. Ignoring all evidence, repeating same failed approach. 2. Stubborn persistence. Recognizing problems but refusing to change. 3. Adaptive persistence. Making small tweaks while staying the course. 4. Strategic persistence. Periodically evaluating and making major adjustments. 5. Evolutionary persistence. Continually reinventing approach while keeping core vision. Exercise. Map your current challenge to this scale. 2. The 40-70 rule for strategic decisions. Former Secretary of State Colin Powell's decision-making framework. Never decide with 40% information, you're guessing. Never wait for 70% information, you've waited too long. Application. When facing a persistence, pivot decision: 1. List what you know, 40%. 2. Identify critical missing information. 3. Make the call before analysis paralysis sets in. Section 3. The Pivot Persist Decision Matrix. 3. 1. The 5 critical questions. Answer these to determine your best path forward. 1. Effort-reward ratio. Is my input of time energy producing proportional results? 2. Market feedback. What are customers, competitors, the data telling me? 3. Alternative opportunities. What better options am I ignoring by staying put? 4. Energy levels. Am I feeling challenged or chronically drained? 5. Future projection. Where will this path lead in 6, 12, 24 months? Scoring system, 0-2 yes, 3 strong pivot signal. 3 Fonger borderline needs more analysis. 4-5 yes marquee persisting, 3.2 pivot case studies A. Nintendo 1889 present were started as playing card company, pivoted to toys in 1960s, pivoted to video games in 1970s. Multiple console generations with major strategy shifts. Key takeaway: core competency, entertainment remained constant while delivery mechanisms evolved. Conclusion: the winner's choice framework. Strategic persistence isn't about blind hope, it's about continual conscious choice. Every quarter, or for personal goals every month, conduct a formal persistence review. 1. Reality check. What's actually happening? 2. Options audit. What alternatives exist? 3. Energy assessment. Is this sustainable? 4. Decision. Persist, pivot, or pause. How to think like a winner, even when you're losing. Chapter 3. The Confidence Loop. Building unshakable self-belief in the face of setbacks. Introduction. The winner's secret weapon. Confidence is not something you're born with. It's something you build. And contrary to popular belief, winners don't feel confident all the time. What sets them apart is their ability to act despite doubt, to rebound after failure, and to cultivate self-belief as a daily practice. This chapter will reveal the neuroscience behind confidence, the habits of ultra-confident performers, and practical techniques to develop what psychologists call earned confidence, the kind that withstands any storm. You'll learn the 3 types of confidence and why most people only use one, how to rewire your brain's fear response, the success evidence method used by elite athletes, why failure actually builds more durable confidence than success, how to create a personal confidence ritual. By the end, you'll have a complete toolkit for developing the quiet, unshakable self-assurance that marks all true winners. Section 1. The Confidence Spectrum, Understanding the 3 Layers. 1. Surface confidence, the mask. What most people think of as confidence: body language, verbal assertiveness, first impressions. Problem: this is easily shattered by setbacks. Strategic confidence, the game plan. Confidence derived from preparation, systems, contingency plans. Example: a CEO entering negotiations with multiple BATNAs, best alternative to negotiated agreement. Core confidence, the foundation. The deep, unshakable belief in your ability to figure things out, handle discomfort, recover from failure. Key insight: winners build from the core outward. Section 2. The Neuroscience of Self-Belief 2.1. How confidence physically changes your brain. Prefrontal cortex activation versus amygdala hijack. Myelin reinforcement from repeated practice. The winner effect, testosterone dopamine feedback loop. 2. The confidence killer chemicals. How cortisol and adrenaline sabotage performance. The 60-second rule. How long stress chemicals linger. The Power Pose research, Amy Cuddy's findings updated. 2. 3 neuroplasticity hacks for confidence. Success rehearsal. 5 minutes daily visualization. Failure inoculation. Gradually exposing yourself to challenges. Micro wins. The compound effect of small victories. Section 3. The Confidence Cycle. How winners build belief. 3.1. The Evidence-Based Confidence Model. 1. Action. 2. Result. 3. Interpretation. 4. Belief. Critical point: most people wait to feel confident before acting. Winners reverse the cycle. To the 5 wins daily practice. Documenting small victories trains your brain to expect success. Harvard study. Groups who tracked wins performed 23% better. 3.3. The Post-Failure Reboot Protocol. 1. 24-hour emotion window. 2. Objective analysis. What actually happened? 3. Lesson extraction 4. Immediate re-engagement section 4. Confidence killers and how to defeat them 4. 1. Imposter syndrome. Why high achievers experience it most. The reverse resume exercise 4. 2. Comparison trap. The behind-the-scenes reality check. Social media detox strategies. 4. 3. Perfectionism paralysis. The 80% rule for taking action. NASA's failure tolerance policy. Section 5. Building confidence in key areas 5. 1. Social confidence. The 3-second rule for conversations. How to remember names effortlessly. 5. 2. Professional confidence. The brag file technique. Strategic self-promotion without arrogance. 5.3. Physical confidence. The posture power connection. Breathing techniques for instant calm. Conclusion. Your confidence roadmap. Confidence is a skill, one that must be 1. Practiced daily. 2. Tested through challenge. 3. Renewed after setbacks. Final exercise, the future. You visualization. Imagine yourself 5 years from now with unshakable confidence. What advice would that version of you give today? How to think like a winner, even when you're losing. Chapter 4. The bounce back factor. Mastering the art of the comeback. Introduction. The Phoenix Principle. Every winner's story contains pivotal moments that looked like endings but became new beginnings. J.K. Rowling's 12 publisher rejections. Steve Jobs' ousting from Apple. Michael Jordan's cut from his high school basketball team. What separates those who fade away from those who stage legendary comebacks isn't luck. It's a specific set of recoverable skills. This chapter reveals the psychological framework, neurological tools, and battle-tested strategies that enable winners to transform failure into rocket fuel, rebuild stronger after devastating losses, turn their lowest moments into their most powerful leverage, develop resilience muscle memory for future challenges. You'll learn how Navy SEALs, Fortune 500 CEOs, and world-class athletes systematically engineer comebacks, and how you can apply these same principles to your personal and professional life. Section 1. The Neuroscience of Resilience. 1.1. How your brain processes failure. The amygdala's threat response versus prefrontal cortex regulation. Cortisol's 72-hour rule. Why the first 3 days matter most. Neuroplasticity and the growth scar phenomenon 1. To the winner's brain. Rewiring protocol phase 1. Emotional first aid. The 0 to 24 hours. The 90-second emotion surfacing technique. Physical reset strategies. Cold exposure, bilateral stimulation. Phase 2. Cognitive reframing. 24 to 72 hours. The 3 perspectives exercise. 1. Current self. 2. Future self, 5 years out. 3. Mentor perspective. Phase 3. Strategic rebuilding 72+ hours. The scaffolding method for gradual return section 2. The 5 stages of every comeback stage. 1. The impact phase. Recognizing the 4 types of setbacks. 1. The slow bleed, gradual decline. 2. The sudden shock, overnight catastrophe. 3. The betrayal wound, trust violation. 4. The self-inflicted personal responsibility. Stage 2. The cocoon period. The science of strategic withdrawal. How long to retreat before re-engaging. Digital detox protocols for mental reset. Stage 3. The insight extraction. The failure autopsy worksheet. Distinguishing between bad luck versus bad strategy. Identifying hidden opportunity costs. Stage 4. The identity rebuild. Updating your self-narrative after failure. The 1 3-5 comeback blueprint. 1 symbolic quick win. 3 medium-term proof points. 5 structural changes. Section 3. Comeback case studies 3. On the corporate turnaround, Apple. 1997 Jobs' nuclear options for saving the company. Key moves. Product line reduction. Microsoft Alliance 3.2 The Athletic Resurrection. Tom Brady's 2000 NFL Draft. Pick 199 to 7 Super Bowls. The Chip Stacking Motivation Technique 3. Got the personal reinvention. Oprah's career pivot from news anchor to talk show host. The gift wrapping method for reframing rejection. Section 4. Building your anti-fragile system. 1. The Comeback Preparedness Plan. 1. Pre-mortem exercise. Imagining future failures now. 2. Emergency contacts list. Your 3 a.m. support network. 3. Resource stockpile. Financial, emotional reserves. 4.2. The Resilience Scorecard. 10 metrics for tracking bounce-back capacity. Quarterly resilience checkups. 4.3. Failure vaccination protocol. Gradual exposure therapy for setbacks. The controlled burn method. Section 5. The post-comeback advantage. 5. 1. The survivor's edge. How past failures create future negotiation power. The SCAR credibility phenomenon. 5.2. The comeback mindset. Maintenance. Daily practices for sustained resilience. Recognizing early warning signs. 5. 3. Paying it forward. How teaching resilience strengthens your own. Creating a resilience legacy. Conclusion. Your bounce-back blueprint. True winners aren't those who never fall. They're those who develop a repeatable process for rising stronger every time. Your action steps. 1. Complete your failure autopsy worksheet. 2. Schedule a cocoon period within 72 hours of next setback. 3. Implement the 1-3-5 comeback blueprint. Final thought. The ground you're standing on after a fall contains the nutrients for your next leap forward. The only true failure is failing to learn how to fail well,